Hi, I'm Kim Shea from Aging Purposefully, where we try to inspire people over a cup of tea on how you can age in a way that makes you feel fulfilled and happy. And here today with me is Don Skelton. Don Skelton is an old friend. He's a local musician and a surfer. How long have you been surfing?
Do you want me to actually tabulate the numbers? But I can tell you it was 1962.
Okay, so a few decades.
Yes, over 50 years.
Yeah.
And I was at Tamarack Beach and rode a wooden surfboard. It was pre-foam, and that was my first exposure.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And was the water less crowded than it is now?
Oh, very much so.
Yeah. Yeah. And how many people do you surf with, or you surf alone?
Well, you don't surf alone anymore. And there's always usually somebody out there. But I show up. Lately I've been surfing the Oceanside harbor. And so I show up and I have friends that are out in the water, and I usually sit with them for a while and pick off waves together. And we do a lot of talking too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a good community. Good surfing community.
And have you known most of those people for a while, or is it just
a lot of them? People? Yeah, a lot of them I've known for a while, and then there's been some new friends that I've made that I've never surfed with before that surfed that particular break. Yeah,
that's really neat. So you're building a community. You're part of a surfing community.
Yeah. I actually belonged to for a while. I belonged to the Oceanside Surfing Club, and they've been around for I don't know, 30 plus years, 40 maybe. And I competed 63 and above age group, and I thought it was going to be a breeze, but there's still some really good surfers that are surfing now. There is another category at age 70, and I'll turn 70 in March, and I may join up with the club again and see how I can do.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Do you see a time when you'll stop surfing? Is there a goal, like when you don't want to do it anymore?
Well, I've thought about that a lot.
Yeah?
Because it seems as though at 70 it's a little harder. My back seems to be a little stiffer. My hips are a little sore. But I just push through it and take Advil and go out and do it anyway. But I've thought there'll come a time when I can't stand up anymore. And at that point, my plan is to go to a knee board or a boogie board and still be out in the surf. And whether it's laying down on a boogie board, if that's all I can do, I'll be happy with that.
Just get out there.
Yeah, just to get out there.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you some pictures of Don surfing so you can see him.
Well, I'll try this. Winter chai.
Yeah, what do you think?
I like it.
Pretty good?
Mm-hmm.
Are you a chai drinker ordinarily?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Obviously, because I couldn't even pronounce it.
This mango mojito is pretty good too. Excellent.
I like it.
All right, I'm glad. Okay. So my son is 13. I've got Kai, who's 13. His name's Kai, so of course he has to be in the water all the time. And when he goes out there, I'm always telling him, when you get in that cold water, it just makes you feel alive. It just makes you feel like you're part of all this, and there's just so much majesty when you're out there looking at all the ocean. Do you feel that way? Is that part of it for you? Like, is it a spiritual?
Oh, I would definitely say it's spiritual. In fact, I would say that my life has come full circle since I've been retired. I was able, thank goodness, to retire at age 55. I worked at Palomar for 10 years, Maricosta Community College for 22, and I had that opportunity to retire early. My wife volunteered to go back to work, and it all worked out for me. And I always say, from that day forward, that my life has come full circle. Like it was when I was younger, when I was that first ride, Tamarack, and all through high school. So I've been able to do that again, both music and surfing. So it's been good.
That's really great.
Yeah.
And you were in the military. You served, right?
I did from 1968 to 1972.
Which branch?
I was in the Navy.
You were in the Navy. Yeah. So you've done a lot.
I have.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, if somebody wanted to get into surfing, let's say somebody's watching this video and they'd like to get into surfing, is that something that, let's say somebody who is 70 can learn how to do? Or is it too hard at that point?
Well, I don't think so, because they say 70 is the new 50.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go
And
with
so,
that.
yeah, I think it just depends on conditioning. I would say the first thing that I would recommend if somebody wanted to surf would be to get on a paddleboard, which you know about.
Yeah.
Practice standing and paddling and see if you have the upper body strength, or develop the upper body strength and balance. And I would say that on a selective day, a smaller day, that somebody 70 could do that. I would recommend that their heart's in good condition and they don't have brittle bone problems.
Oh, right.
Things like that.
Yeah.
But
maybe check with your doctor. Just
yeah,
to be
check
sure.
with your doctor.
Yeah.
But start off there, and you don't have to even stand initially. You can just be on your knees with the paddle and
I've
paddle.
done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be a precursor, I think, to trying to grab a board and go out and surf.
Okay. All right, but it's neat. It's neat experience. If
Yeah.
somebody could experience
Yeah.
it, be probably worth a try.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Try it.
Try it. So you mentioned music, and you
Yeah.
are a premier bass player. You're
Well,
very
thank
much
you.
in demand, and
Well.
you're very good. How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing that probably before I took up surfing. I think I have a picture. I think that'll share with on the video. I was
Okay, we'll put
13
that up
years
here.
old. I studied under a Nashville guitar player that moved to California. He selected certain students to play in his band, and we did square dances.
Yeah.
In San Marcos, of all places, there used to be a red barn in the 60s,
Huh.
right off Twin Oaks Road, and so I got my first exposure there playing rhythm guitar. And then later on in years, I was in some bands locally and played at Palomar College, and we were still in high school playing for college dances. Very good bunch of musicians. And at that point, I took up the bass because there was a fella in the band that played better guitar than I did.
Oh.
And we had a rhythm player, so they said, "Hey, would you play the bass?" And I fell in love with it. Starting off on the electric bass and then the upright bass. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty neat. How about learning that? Do you think that's something somebody could learn to do? It's a big instrument.
Well,
so.
I would say, there's a lot of opportunities in Carlsbad. The Museum of Making Music has a program that if you have had some exposure playing an instrument, usually at any point in your life, you can go there and join a group.
Oh.
And you'll have an opportunity to maybe get back into playing, be a little more solid player, and maybe even get some instruction. And so that would be an opportunity for anybody, because I sometimes wonder if I had to pick between surfing and the music, which one would it be?
Yeah.
And I can't really say which one at this point.
Yeah.
I may have to choose that at some point, but I'm just going to keep on hoping that I can do both.
As long as you can keep holding up that big bass.
Yeah, there's.
It's not a small instrument.
It's not. In fact, I read that the average bass player playing a 3 or 4 hour gig burns 200 calories.
Really?
Yes.
That's good to know. That's really great.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the bass playing music, they say, is really good for your mind? It's good for depression. It's good for helping you to keep your mental functioning. Do you feel? I mean, I
think
just
so.
enjoy it, but do you?
Oh no, I use it for all those things.
Okay.
Trying to keep my mind sharp. I have a program. Generally, I get up before my wife every morning, make the coffee,
Nice.
and then I sit down and I get on my computer, and there's some sites that I have transcribed music for bass, and I play those things quietly, of course. But I play them every morning, and they vary from classical to jazz to pop music, and you play along with a band. I think our friend Peter knows about the band in the box and those kinds of things.
Yeah,
that give you a play along opportunity to practice. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think I'll put. Don's mentioned a few things that might be of interest to you, so I'll put those below the video, so you'll be able to find the links for that, as well as a link to a charity that's near and dear to Don's heart, in case you'd like to get involved with that and make a donation.
Yeah.
Whenever I talk about aging, I always like to think about boxes that people are ticking off that they're doing right. And for you, what I see is that you've got community, camaraderie with a lot of groups, because you've got your surfers and your musicians, and you've got your family. You're really close to your family, so you're staying connected to other people, which is so important for depression.
Right.
And I'm not saying that you are depressed. I'm saying it helps people.
I have been.
To stave off.
Yeah, but I think you're right. You know, I mean, that's, to me, all those things are medicine.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
know, a holistic, almost like, you know,
Yeah.
music and surfing.
And it's
Yeah.
not too expensive to do all those things. and
Initially,
be
you know,
with
you
all
have some
those
initial
people.
costs, but
Yeah.
after that, it's pretty.
It's not crazy. Yeah. And you're staying physically active. Which is
Oh yeah.
wonderful,
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
wonderful, and using your mind and
And walking, you know, my
you
wife
walk
and I
too.
walk together.
Yeah.
You know, we walk together, and so yeah, that's about my activity. I'm
Yeah.
a little too cheap to join a gym.
you don't need one when you have the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your time. I really
Oh,
appreciate
wow.
it, and I hope that if you are not really sure what you could do, if the ocean appeals to you, surfing, music, Don has some really good ideas of things that you can do, and you can age well.
Well, thank you,
Like you're
Kim.
doing. Thank you.
I've always been impressed with your
Thank
your
you.
love for people that are aging. And I knew you when you worked in the profession full time, and I was always impressed with what you did.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, I have one more thing. So is there a place where they can find out where you're playing? If you're in the San Diego area, you can
yes.
go down.
If you like the good old blues, you can go to the chrisfastband.com.
Okay, and I'll put that on. I'll put a link
Yes.
there directly, so you can go there and check out the calendar and see where they're
Yes.
playing, and you can
And,
meet
that's-
Don Skelton in person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Don.